What if the next time you drive to your favorite store, the parking lot is empty, the lights gone, the doors chained shut, and the sign that once promised open daily replaced by a silent for lease banner? Across the United States, more than 13 of the nation's biggest retailers, from household names to century-old giants, are collapsing one by one. Since 2020, over 20,000 stores have closed their doors, erasing millions of jobs and leaving behind ghost town malls where America once gathered. It's not just bad business. It's a red warning light for an economy that no longer feels built for the working class. Why are companies that survived wars, recessions, and revolutions now falling faster than ever? Is this the end of affordable living, or just the beginning of something far more dangerous? In today's America, every closure isn't only about lost products, it's about lost identity. The stores that once shaped our daily lives are now mirrors of our national decline. This is the Downturn Report, where the truth gets personal. Today we discover 13 big retailers closing down stores all over America. Let's begin. Number 1. Walgreens. It's strange how silence can sound so loud. Walk down any old American boulevard tonight and you'll see it. Another Walgreens sign flickering out like the last light in a tired diner. The chain that once promised open 24/7 is now counting down its own hours. Walgreens plans to close 2,150 stores by 2027, nearly one quarter of its 8,600 locations. That's not restructuring, that's amputation. The company has bled more than $6 billion since 2023, while reimbursements fell 15% and labor costs soared 20%. Pharmacies now make pennies on the dollar, and even those pennies are evaporating faster than hope in a broken bottle. Across cities like San Francisco, Chicago, and Seattle, theft has become an epidemic. Shoplifters stroll out like they own the place, and each stolen basket erases an entire day's earnings. Since 2020, insurance premiums have ballooned 40%, forcing some stores to choose between staying open or staying insured. It's the kind of math no community can survive. Yet the cruelest thief of all isn't human, it's digital. Apps like Capsule and Amazon Pharmacy are stealing the next generation of customers with the promise of one-day delivery and zero human contact. The young don't line up for medicine anymore, they scroll for it. Now buried under more than $34 billion in debt, Walgreens has begun abandoning low-income neighborhoods, the ones that need it most, leaving pharmacy deserts where people drive miles just to refill heart pills or insulin. For millions of elderly and working-class Americans, this isn't just another corporate cutback, it's the quiet collapse of a safety net disguised as a sale sign. Number 2. Best Buy. You can almost hear the hum fade, that electric buzz of a nation chasing the next shiny gadget. Best Buy, once America's blue and yellow temple of technology, now feels more like a museum of lost excitement. The company confirmed 24 store closures in 2025 and another 15 planned for 2026 as profits crumble and its purpose flickers out. The problem isn't competition, it's extinction by satisfaction. Americans don't crave upgrades anymore. That flat-screen TV you bought in 2015 still looks fine. Laptops stretch 6 years, phones 4, and smart speakers simply refuse to die. When the thrill of new dies, retailers start to suffocate like a machine left unplugged. Net income nosedived from $2.4 billion in 2021 to barely $1 billion in 2024. Meanwhile, online titans have eaten their lunch and the plate it came on. Amazon, Apple, Samsung, and Sony now sell straight to customers, bypassing Best Buy entirely. Apple alone handles 38% of its US sales directly. No blue shirt, no checkout line, no small talk about HDMI cables. Rent on those massive box stores runs as high as $100,000 a month, yet foot traffic has fallen 35% since 2019. Payroll costs are soaring, with average hourly wages hitting $21 and benefits draining millions. Theft has become its own pandemic, with over $50 million lost to organized retail crime in 2024 alone. Desperate to stay relevant, Best Buy tried to reinvent itself as a tech support subscription club, charging $199 a year for what used to be free advice. But even that can't plug the leak. The company that once buried Circuit City and Radio Shack is now gasping on the same floor, watching shoppers trade aisles for algorithms. When America's tech temple can't outshine a Buy Now button, you know the future has officially moved on. Number 3. Amazon Fresh. It feels almost biblical. The giant that swallowed the world finally choking on a loaf of bread. Amazon, the company that turned add to cart into a reflex, has hit a wall that no algorithm can bulldoze: groceries. In 2025, Amazon Fresh began quietly shutting down stores across California, Illinois, and Virginia, freezing dozens of new projects that once promised 500 sleek, cashierless markets nationwide. The empire that revolutionized commerce couldn't make vegetables pay the bills. The numbers tell a brutal story. Grocery margins hover between 1% and 3%, yet theft, soaring wages, and energy bills have devoured those slim profits. Retail theft has surged 25% in just 2 years, draining billions from an industry already gasping for air. Even a $1.5 trillion titan couldn't code its way out of spoiled milk. The much-hyped Just Walk Out technology, meant to save labor, backfired spectacularly. Maintenance alone exceeded $10 million per store each year. The futuristic stores that once promised liberation from checkout lines instead felt like Orwell's supermarket: cold, sterile, and watching your every move. Employees despised managing the glitchy systems, and customers longed for the human touch of an old-fashioned cashier. Meanwhile, sales per square foot lagged behind humble rivals like Kroger and Publix. As inflation sent grocery prices through the roof, $8 cereal, double-priced eggs, shoppers stopped caring about innovation and started chasing survival. Amazon Fresh's prices averaged 10% higher than Walmart's, a fatal gap that emptied carts and deepened losses. Hundreds of workers were cut, leases abandoned, and millions bled from operations once billed as the company's next trillion-dollar frontier. The irony burns. The same empire that killed malls, bookstores, and department chains is now discovering that feeding humans can't be automated. Groceries aren't gadgets. Families aren't data points. And if even Amazon can't make food profitable, maybe the entire retail universe is standing closer to collapse than anyone wants to admit. Number 4. 7-Eleven. It almost feels like a bad dream. The store that promised always open now, hanging closed signs across the continent. 7-Eleven, the name that once defined American convenience, is shutting down 444 locations across North America. The number alone feels absurd, but here's the darker truth. It's not 7-Eleven that's dying, it's the very idea of convenience itself. The impulse economy, the midnight snack run, the forgotten battery dash, the guilty cup of gas station coffee, is collapsing under the weight of the smartphone. Why run to the corner when DoorDash brings the same chips cheaper, Amazon Fresh delivers milk in an hour, and Starbucks lets you pre-order your caffeine without ever leaving the car? Traffic at 7-Eleven stores has dropped 25% since 2020, and revenue per location has slipped below $1.4 million, the lowest in 15 years. The cost side looks like a horror script for small business owners. Labor costs jumped 19%, energy bills surged 28%, and insurance premiums for 24-hour operations have tripled because of soaring crime. Late-night robberies, vandalism, and gas pump thefts have turned always open into always at risk. Franchisees now report losing $40,000 to $60,000 annually just to keep lights on. What used to be a beacon of caffeine and hope at 2 in the morning has become a fluorescent ghost, buzzing over empty parking lots. And the real heartbreak? These aren't just store closures. They're community amputations. For late shift workers grabbing lunch or struggling families buying milk after midnight, 7-Eleven wasn't a luxury, it was survival. Now boarded windows and silent pumps mark the same corners that once glowed with the hum of small-town life. The convenience store has become inconvenient, and the American promise of anything, anytime, anywhere has quietly expired under the blue light of a smartphone screen. Number 5. Walmart. When a giant stumbles, the ground itself trembles. Walmart, that endless ocean of fluorescent aisles and rollback signs, has long been America's unofficial heartbeat. 4,600 stores, 1.66 million workers, $600 billion in yearly sales. For decades, it felt too big to fall. But in 2025, the unthinkable began. Store closures across 6 states, including California, Illinois, and Washington. The reason? Rising theft, sinking profits, and neighborhoods so unsafe that even the king of low prices couldn't afford to stay. When the largest retailer in human history starts retreating, the rest of the marketplace should start checking its pulse. Walmart's losses now exceed $3 billion a year, a staggering number hidden under the polite corporate term shrinkage. Organized crime rings sweep shelves clean in minutes while staff are told not to intervene. Some stores lose $10,000 a week, every week, just to theft. And security isn't free. Armed guards, cameras, and locked cabinets now drain nearly $500 million annually. Inflation only makes the wound deeper. The very customers Walmart built its empire on, the working class, the paycheck-to-paycheck families, can no longer afford to fill their carts. In just 1 year, grocery prices climbed 7%, while average ticket size dropped 8%. Even Walmart's legendary logistics can't outpace a dying dollar. Now rent, wages near $19 an hour, and climbing energy costs are squeezing stores to the edge of survival. That's why the company is abandoning certain zip codes entirely, not restructuring, retreating. When Walmart leaves a town, it's not a business decision, it's an economic funeral. Hundreds of jobs vanish, suppliers collapse, and once bustling parking lots turn into asphalt graveyards overnight. If even Walmart can't survive every corner of America, one can't help but wonder. When that final store goes dark, does the light of affordable living go out with it? Number 6. Dollar General. You know the country's in trouble when even the dollar can't buy a break. Dollar General, once the beating heart of small-town America, is running out of dollars and maybe out of time. With more than 19,000 stores across the nation, it used to fill the spaces Walmart forgot. Towns with one gas pump, one diner, and one place to stretch a paycheck. But in early 2025, the chain announced dozens of closures and froze new openings for the first time in its history. The culprit isn't just inflation, it's exhaustion. Operating costs are eating the company alive. Wages up 22%, shipping up 18%, theft up a staggering 30% since 2022. When you make your living selling $1.25 trinkets, those numbers hit like a brick through glass. What's worse, every closure feels like another nail in the coffin of rural life. In hundreds of counties, Dollar General was the only place to buy milk, diapers, or batteries without driving 20 miles. Now, always affordable feels like a cruel joke. Many stores operate with a single overworked employee juggling the register, stocking shelves, and calling the cops when theft happens. Margins have grown so thin they could slice through hope itself. Even loyal customers, the families who once found dignity in budget shopping, are pulling back, their wallets emptied by rent, utilities, and groceries up 25% in just 2 years. The company still rakes in $38 billion in annual revenue, but profits have cratered. Wall Street calls it retail fatigue, a sterile term for what's really happening, and America too broke to buy. As Dollar General shutters stores across Tennessee, Texas, and Ohio, the dollar store era is dying on the same dirt roads that once kept it alive. For decades, it was where the American dream went on clearance. But now even clearance has been marked out of stock. Number 7. Kohl's. Somewhere between the perfume counter and the clearance rack, you can still hear it. The faint echo of an America that thought 30% off could fix everything. Kohl's once pulsed like the suburban heartbeat of the nation, with bright aisles, coupon-clutching moms, and dads pretending to care about denim fits while kids disappeared into the toy section. But in 2025, that heartbeat is skipping. Kohl's is closing 27 stores nationwide, not because of a single bad quarter, but because the illusion finally wore off. The dream of middle-class luxury at discount prices has cracked under the weight of inflation, e-commerce, and exhaustion. For years, Kohl's tried to balance between being a mini department store and a budget-friendly escape, a JCPenney with better lighting. It worked until the internet swallowed the fun of wandering. Now, middle-income families are tapped out. $5 gas, rising grocery costs, and shrinking paychecks have left their carts half empty. The average customer spends 25% less per visit than 5 years ago. The company has tried every survival trick in the retail playbook: Sephora mini stores, remodels, influencer partnerships, small format test shops. Yet the bleeding won't stop. Since 2022, stock value has plummeted over 40%, and foot traffic feels like a whisper of what it once was. Even malls that depended on Kohl's as their anchor are collapsing inward, like dying stars. With e-commerce now claiming 65% of apparel sales, even the most loyal shoppers are abandoning baskets, not in the aisles, but in their online carts. What's vanishing isn't just a retailer, it's the Saturday ritual itself, the family outing that used to mean something. The lights at Kohl's are still on, but the hum has changed. It's not the sound of commerce anymore, but of an era fading into the clearance bin of history. Number 8. JCPenney. The sound of an escalator humming inside a half-empty mall used to mean something. It meant family Saturdays, back-to-school shopping, and mothers flipping through catalogs so thick they could double as booster seats. For decades, JCPenney was America's closet, a department store stitched into the nation's memory. But that memory is fraying fast. From a peak of 1,100 stores, the chain is now closing more locations across California, Colorado, and West Virginia, shrinking like an old suit that no longer fits the times. They call them underperforming stores. The truth? It's extinction wearing a name tag. Foot traffic has plunged nearly 40% since before the pandemic, and online sales never caught up to Amazon or even Walmart's lumbering e-commerce empire. JCPenney built its world on the middle class, and the middle class vanished like change in a couch cushion. Wages froze while rent, fuel, and groceries took off like rockets. Nobody's buying $70 dress shirts when eggs cost more than pride. Bankruptcy and a private equity rescue only bought time, not salvation. The company still drowns in over $4 billion of debt, its stores trapped in the past under buzzing fluorescent lights and racks that look like skeletons of better days. Even the music playing overhead feels like a ghost of another decade, a soundtrack for a country losing its reflection. And the pain doesn't stop at the automatic doors. Each JCPenney once anchored a local mall, a place where small shops, food courts, and shoe stores orbited like moons around a retail planet. Now those planets are collapsing, taking communities with them. One closure becomes 10, and another American town goes dark. This isn't just a company dying, it's a eulogy for an era when families still believed in the promise of a sale. JCPenney's lights are dimming, and this time, the glow might never come back. Number 9. Forever 21. Once upon a mall, Forever 21 was the teenage dream with fluorescent lighting. A glittering factory of $10 fantasies where cheap fabric met infinite confidence. Every girl left with a plastic bag and the illusion she'd outsmarted the fashion world. But in 2025, that empire of instant glamour is collapsing under the weight of its own sequins. The brand that once ruled every shopping mall in America is closing up to 200 stores nationwide, undone by inflation, online copycats, and a generation that traded dressing rooms for digital feeds. In its prime, Forever 21 raked in over $4 billion a year selling trends designed to disintegrate after 2 spins in the washing machine. The problem? The fast fashion engine that once made them unstoppable became their curse. New predators like Shein and Temu arrived, faster and cheaper, with algorithms that read trends before teens could. Why drive to the mall when your whole closet can be shipped from China for under $50? Forever 21 tried to keep up influencer collabs, eco collections, even a brief comeback tour after bankruptcy, but it was like dressing a ghost in glitter. By 2025, foot traffic had fallen 50% since before the pandemic. Their core audience, Gen Z, doesn't browse racks anymore. They scroll thrift hauls on TikTok and buy secondhand on Depop. The rebellion moved online, and Forever 21 stayed behind in the food court. Behind the pounding pop music and neon pink dressing rooms lies a harsher truth. Mall rents topping $30,000 a month are suffocating profits, and warehouses overflow with unsold crop tops nobody wants. The brand that once sold rebellion now feels like a relic, racks of forgotten sequins glowing under flickering lights. Forever 21 isn't just fading. It's the echo of an era when cheap still felt like freedom. Now even cheap has lost its thrill. Number 10. Big Lots. Big Lots was never glamorous, and that was the point. It was the store for real people. Scuffed floors, discount couches, and aisles that smelled faintly of cardboard and hope. For decades, it was America's bargain sanctuary, a place where $20 could buy you something that made home feel a little less hard. But by 2025, that comfort is cracking. Bankruptcy filings, mass closures, and liquidation signs now hang like tombstones across what was once 1,400 stores nationwide. Sales have plunged 18% year over year, and the brand that once catered to working families now finds itself serving ghosts. Inflation has devoured its core audience, the paycheck-to-paycheck households who no longer have money for extras. When rent swallows half your wages and groceries cost 25% more, you don't buy patio chairs, you buy survival. Those loyal customers didn't vanish, they just ran out of oxygen. The chain's soul, the struggling middle class, is disappearing. These were the people who still believed a discount sofa could anchor a home. Now that dream feels as distant as a mortgage approval. Competing discounters like Dollar General and Five Below undercut them, while Amazon drowns everyone in bulk deals. Big Lots has become the worst of both worlds. Too cheap to be classy, too pricey to be necessary. Even a last-minute rescue deal in 2025 couldn't stem the bleeding. Insiders warn that 40% of stores may vanish by year's end. Empty parking lots, flickering signs, and "everything must go" banners now haunt America's suburbs like quiet memorials to affordability. Big Lots' collapse isn't just another corporate tragedy, it's the obituary of an entire promise. The belief that the average American could still carve out comfort from chaos. When Big Lots goes dark, it's not just a store that dies. It's the faint hope that home could still feel like home. Number 11. Advance Auto Parts. Some endings don't roar. They just fade out beneath the hum of engines that no longer need fixing. Advance Auto Parts, once the silent powerhouse behind America's do-it-yourself pride, is stalling out. With over 4,700 stores, it fueled generations of weekend mechanics, the dads with socket wrenches, the teens learning under hoods, the smell of oil on Saturday mornings. But in 2025, the company began shutting down 523 corporate stores and exiting another 200 independently owned ones. The culprit isn't just bad business, it's evolution. The automotive world has changed gears forever. Gas-powered cars have thousands of parts. Electric vehicles have fewer than 20. That means no belts, no filters, no fluids, and no future for a company built on selling them. The numbers grind like stripped bolts. Profits down 45% year over year, 110 million in inventory write-offs, and sales per square foot collapsing from $170 5 years ago to barely $120 today. Even the mechanics who once swore by Advance now shop online, where Amazon controls nearly 60% of digital auto parts sales. The rest head to wholesalers that undercut prices by 25%. The shift isn't just economic, it's existential. Modern cars are sealed shut by software and sensors. You can't fix a Tesla with a wrench, you need a certification and a laptop. Advance Auto was built for grease, not code. The smell of burnt rubber has been replaced by the silence of lithium batteries. The fallout stretches far beyond corporate spreadsheets. Thousands of workers face layoffs, suppliers lose contracts, and small towns lose one of their few dependable businesses. The fix-it-yourself era that once symbolized American self-reliance is being replaced by something colder, the replace-it-entirely economy. When cars stop breaking the way they used to, an entire culture of repair breaks with them. Advance Auto Parts isn't just closing stores. It's closing the hood on a century of American independence. And this time, no one's got the tools to fix it. Number 12. Macy's. Once upon a parade, Macy's wasn't a store. It was a ritual. The Thanksgiving balloons floating down Fifth Avenue, the glittering Christmas windows, the Red Star logo that felt almost patriotic. For generations, it wasn't just where Americans shopped. It was where they believed. But in 2025, That belief is collapsing like the tinsel towers it built. Macy's is now closing 65 stores, speeding up an earlier plan of 50. That's not strategy, that's surrender. From 840 stores in 2015 to fewer than 450 today, revenues have fallen from $25 billion to under $17 billion in less than 10 years. Each shuttered door is another heartbeat lost from the American mall. The department store model that once felt eternal has turned into quicksand. Foot traffic is down 40% since 2019, while online sales, though growing, have gutted profit margins. Shoppers no longer browse for joy, they scroll for survival. Macy's has tried every desperate disguise: luxury partnerships, smaller stores, even a leap into beauty retail. But no amount of lipstick could hide the bruises. Inflation strangled spending, and operating costs detonated. Energy up 18%, rent 22%, insurance 30%. Theft now drains over $300 million a year, leaving aisles that feel more like vaults than shopping floors. And when Macy's leaves a mall, the fallout is nuclear. Restaurants close, boutique lights dim, and entire shopping centers collapse into silence. The brand that once dressed America for its best moments now stands like an aging performer, taking one last bow under dimming spotlights. Macy's isn't just closing stores. It's closing the century-long spectacle of fashion, festivity, and faith in the middle-class dream. What was once a parade is now a funeral procession, and even the confetti feels tired. When the lights of retail America go dark, who will keep the shelves of hope alive? Subscribe before the next door closes.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our daily content. Now feel free to check out some of the newest and best videos currently shown on your screen. Goodbye, and see you in the next video.